Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdette's NewsStand, and I want to talk about the male equivalent of a Karen. Oh yeah, we're talking about RayFisher again. So, first off, I want to do my riddle early in the day because I'm going to be talking a little bit more serious subjects later. So, basically, I asked a question. It's my favorite riddle of all time. What is red and smells like blue paint? Well, the reason I love this riddle is because the first time I heard it, I was 18 years old in the back seat of the car with my friend Rita. Now, Rita was a redhead, and my friend asked the question that was sitting in the passenger seat, and I was toasted. I was a little inebriated, and say that they asked me what's red and smells like blue paint, and I said Rita's correct. Yeah, it was just red paint, but it was just funny. So every time I hear that joke, it's the dumbest joke ever. I laugh. So anyways, let's talk about RayFisher. So first off, RayFisher's big thing is accountability, right? So let's go back to August 28th. 5 weeks of interviews with various casts. Warner Media has officially launched an independent third-party investigation to get the heart of this toxic and abusive work environment created during the Justice League reshoots, right? Does anybody else find it very funny that now he's not cooperating? I thought it was all about accountability, Ray. But wait, you're a hypocrite? I am not surprised at all. Oh wait, this is gonna go further. See, from the instant I seen this stuff, the names involved were very sketchy. Now, you've heard plenty bad about Joss Whedon, and never heard a damn thing bad about Jeff Johns and John Berg. You have these dumb people trying to say something about a 17-year-old, he was flirting with her, until the women come forward, I won't believe it. And until it is proven factual, I won't believe it. Because the people that also believe these things believe, the male equivalent of the Me Too, which is RayFisher, right? We saw Me Too weaponized, and it was basically weaponized for women to get advances in their career. Isn't that what RayFisher has done? And we can, without a doubt, prove that today. And the funny thing is I can't tell you how many times I have been lied to in my face and not been able to tell. I can't tell you how many times my naive ass has fallen for something stupid over and over again. Literally throughout my entire childhood and adulthood. Whether it's my brother or other people involved can literally play me like a fiddle. Because I am not dumb. Naive is the best way to put it. And I knew this motherfucker was lying from day one. I knew it. Just because of the way he words things. Like when you sit here and say, this motherfucker summoned me to his office. No, you know what? He called you up. Like, you are one of these people that are very clearly trying to use the Snyder cult. I know I pissed somebody off when I called it the Snyder cult. There's really great Snyder fans. And then there are diehards that will believe every word that comes out of every single actor's mouth. And it's ridiculous. I love the idea of the fact of the Snyder Cut. I'm looking forward to it. I will be reviewing every little bit and piece of it. I love Zack Snyder. But some of the fans are, naive. Coming from me, that's rich. Are naive because they will believe everything, and that's a huge problem. So when I say Snyder Cult, I obviously don't mean everybody. I think that is a huge win for fans. But when you weaponize them, and that's actually not their fault. It's actually RayFisher's, but when you weaponize them, it's bad. It's bad news. But he actually got Walter Hamada involved, right? So let's fast forward to yesterday. And I seen this yesterday and I was like, Okay, they're gonna have to say something, which they did, and we'll talk about. But when it's gotten too far, his lies have been stretched so thin, he doesn't know what to say. So you better understand how deep this goes. Like, this is some rabbit hole shit. Are you guys ready to strap in? After speaking out about Justice League, I received a phone call from the president of DC Films. He's talking about Walter Hamada. He's talking about Walter Hamada, who has done a good job. Don't get me wrong, there are a few things, that was weird with him coming on. Simply the fact that he went from, like, a horror franchise to, DC Comics. And, I actually have faith in Walter Hamada. So, regardless, I received a phone call from the president of DC Films wherein he attempted to throw Joss Whedon and John Berg under the bus in hopes that I would relent on Jeff Johns. I will not. Dun dun dun. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I won't believe you until you show me some facts and actual... Hey, you know what? We all carry a phone everywhere we go, right? Why would it have been that hard for him to record something? Well, it has to happen before you can record it. I just don't believe a single word this man says, and I could be wrong. It is very unlikely that I am wrong, because if he had something concrete, not only would he have released it by now, don't give me that NDA bullshit. Don't believe it. Not only would he have released it by now, but he would be working with Warner Brothers and cooperating with the Justice League investigation. But guess what? You don't hold any accountability. Fucking hilarious. It is so rich. It is so rich to have these pseudo-intellectuals try to act like they are so much above you. And then, they are just exposed. Absolutely exposed. There is nothing good about what this man is doing. He is... I know I joked and said a male Karen, but he is the equivalent of a male Me Too right here. It is absolutely, it's ridiculous. So let's take a look at, what, the WB actually said, because they did finally release an official statement on the entirety of this. And it all comes down to what I said in my first video about this. He was mad about the screen time. And I explained why I thought so, and I will explain it again. He came from Broadway. And the reason why I say, it might not make sense, but the reason why I say this makes sense is because when I was in plays, I was used to getting relatively lead roles, at least the first couple, right? At least the first couple main few. There was a few like Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat where I was Matt, I didn't get the narrator, but I was one of Joseph's wives, so I was happy. It would just depend on what type of roles were available, right? So I was used to getting that. The first time I went, I think I was, I don't know, I was really young, maybe 16 or 17. The first time I went to an actual audition for the CW, I was cast aside. I thought I was going in there with being relatively talented, could sing, could dance, like I thought I was. I'm not saying I was. And I went in there and I was cast aside, and it was a really, really wide, an eye-opener, right? Because I thought my talents could get me somewhere in life, when I realized there are a million other people out there just like me. And it doesn't matter how talented you are, it matters who you know. And that day when when I walked out of that interview, I was just like, it was an interview, but I also had to do some wardrobing and stuff for the actual show on the CW. You have to be a certain size. And I was actually 2 inches too short and about 10 pounds too small. So I didn't get a part, and that's when I left everything behind. But you have to be everything and have connections. And he came from Broadway thinking he was absolutely perfect to the big boy world, right? He came into the big boy world thinking he was going to get everything he wanted and those script revisions, which we'll talk about, and he didn't. And it was very easy to tell in this manner because I was this person. Well, I was also very young and not a grown-ass man throwing a fit. I realized the real world at 17. I don't even know how old he is, to be honest with you, but he's got to be closer to my age. So, at no time did Mr. Hamada ever throw anyone under the bus, as Mr. Fisher has falsely claimed, or render any judgments about the Justice League production, in which Mr. Hamada had no involvement. Yep. Since this is my favorite part. Okay, please play close attention. Look at the screen. Mr. Hamada had no involvement since filming occurred before Mr. Hamada was elevated to his current position. Oh, so he wasn't even had. Okay. So, totally makes sense. What I absolutely love about this, though, is the fact that obviously we know we didn't throw anyone under the bus. This is just please. I want attention, and I went to Twitter for it. Please, I want virtual backpack. But, another thing that I absolutely love is the fact that he did this. So they contacted him in July, right? They contacted him in July to say, we're doing this investigation and everything. The biggest part of this was he wanted more of a role in the Flash. And he actually said he wanted his script revisions. How entitled do you have to be to say, I want script revisions? I want them on my fucking stance, my script revisions, or I'm going to throw you under the bus on Twitter. If you still believe this person at this point, I have question for your sanity. But I get it. We all, never meet your heroes, right? So they didn't, his suggested script revisions were not adopted. So guess what he did? He went on Twitter. Fucking Karen. Oh, ridiculous. I think it's so, you know what? I kind of love it because I was actually right for once. I never can tell when someone's lying. And I felt it with this dude from the very get-go. Once I seen he was on Broadway, I'm like, he's got big man syndrome and just can't realize the world doesn't revolve around him. Get a new line. Get a new job because you're done. You are absolutely done, Ray Fisher. You will not be Cyborg. You will not actually be in WB, nor will you actually get any jobs in Hollywood, considering you haven't had really any besides this. And your Twitch career, you have, no, you can't even get 100 views, dude. It's time to go back to McDonald's, buddy. McDonald's is calling your name. Anyways, let me know, of course, what you guys think about this. I'm just, it's too funny. I find it so rich. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon and subscribe stars. You guys literally make this channel possible. Huge thank you to Cage the Mick, Robert Mick Twiz, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris Z, David L, David Rafford, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Mighty Balls, Mike Buckner, Maizen Barbosa, Ruskart, Ryan Decker, Robert Hoffman, and Doc Holliday. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget on the way out to like as always if you enjoy the content and hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.